Can anybody see the light where the moon meets the dew and the tide rising? Did you realize no one can see inside your view? Did you realize the way the sun belongs to you? You set aside your fears and lies. With this soul desire, done it born and done it now, and it ain't me on this side. Done it born and done it now, and it ain't me on this side.
How's it going, peeps? Good evening, Just JP, Squirrel Sniper. M's running about 15 minutes late. That was half an hour ago. Oops, I didn't mean to mute that then. What I meant to do was fade it out. But that's not what I did. So, good evening, Goonies. I hope you've had a good day. Welcome to Real Relevant Radio with Richie. So I've been watching stuff today. Thought this was quite funny.
With DOJ is a law administered by your office, the National Security Division. Is that fair?
That is correct, sir. Yes.
I have behind me an email from 2016 during the Obama-Biden administration between Hunter Biden and Miguel Alemán, the son of a Mexican billionaire and grandson of the former Mexican president. The first lines say, "We are arriving late tonight on Air Force 2 to Mexico City. We'll be there for Thursday. I'm attending meeting with President meaning President Nieto, with Dad." Highlighted are the comments, "We have been talking about business deals and partnerships for 7 years. I've brought every single person you've ever asked me to bring to the effing White House and the Vice President's house and the inauguration. I've delivered on every single thing you've ever asked." In this email, Hunter Biden acknowledges his attendance at a meeting between Mexican President Nieto and then Vice President Biden, discusses business deals and partnerships with a wealthy and politically connected Mexican family, references access provided to Mexican businessmen at the White House and Vice President's house, and states he'd already delivered on every single thing you've ever asked. Did this email or does this email raise concerns that Hunter Biden might have acted contrary to FARA since it appears he never registered to represent foreign principals?
So they're obviously talking about it. They're obviously wheels are in motion. The title's Clickbait. When he was VP, Hunter demands dad's charges after Mexican email. Obama faces jail time. And there's also I watched a bit of this.
В диалоге цивилизации.
And is nature, but it's only at the surface because
No, they don't want anybody to watch it. They want you to just get pissed
the
off.
foundation is of paramount importance. The foundation upon which our shared future is going to be built. The difference from the so-called liberal values consists in the fact that all of them are unique because they stem from a tradition of concrete society, its culture and historical experience.
Look at that, I'm 240p and they're still,
What
and I'm on
has been
fiber
devised
optic.
over centuries by each and every people, each and every nation. This is our understanding of traditional values, and this approach is shared and accepted by the majority of humanity. It's only natural because traditional societies of the East, Latin America, Africa, and in the interest of each and everyone, because it even suits the interests of the West, because it loses its superiority, turning into a minority in the world arena. And of course, the right of this Western minority to its own unique culture, unique identity, should be guaranteed.
That's too annoying. That's too bloody annoying. But I'll pay attention to what old Mr. Putin says. And I know I'm not on either side. I'm on our side. It's us versus them. There's the only two sides that exist in this, us and them. Those of us that want to help each other and those of us that want to help themselves. That's basically all it comes down to. So, obviously, I think Putin wants to help himself, but I think what he's most interested in is just breaking up this hegemony. This, America's the most powerful country on the planet. Oops, that was an old indoctrination slip there. On Earth, America, Team America, world policeman. I still can't believe that. I still can't believe that they actually said it. And you've probably watched this already, but hang on. God, it takes so long to share a screen on thingy when you haven't got two screens going. Look, I'm not even bloody sharing it. I've got to come back in here.
With a strict oil price cap in order to starve Russia of revenues. Saudi Arabia is accusing Team America World Police. Saudi Arabia is accusing Team America World Police of trying to police global energy markets now. Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America. Fuck yeah, so lick my blood and suck on my mouth.
Oh, that's naughty.
Fuck yeah, what you gonna do when we come for you? Saudi Arabia is accusing Team America World Police of trying to police global energy markets now. Team America World Police, 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 Team America World Police.
It had to be done, man. It had to be done. So, how's everyone doing? I was meant to have a guest with me now. She was meant to be ready at 5:45, but it's now 6:30. Still not ready yet. So, what I'll do. How you doing, Andrea? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Come on for a chat if you want. Do you know when I think I'm going to go live, I think I've got so much to talk about, so many things to say, and when I'm on my own, I just go, my mind goes blank. Unless I've got somebody there to talk to. I've got somebody to bounce off. It's different. Nigel Betts, how you doing? I got to ask, man, what's that? That's what you always say, that you got this, and I can't remember what the other thing is. You always say, but it's like a hashtag with the colons. I wonder what's going on there. It's some sort of secret language. Are you in the bath, Squirrel? Did you say you're going to listen from the bath? Oh, I see. All right, well, you don't have to come on if you're in the bath, mate. Don't drop your phone in there. So, yeah, my mind's gone completely blank. I don't know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something, but I don't know what I want to talk about. And my guest still hasn't turned up. Yeah, if you're in the 007 channel, you might want to pop over to the Magic Treehouse channel. Corinne Jean-Pierre had an awesome Freudian slip the other day. She referred to America as a large global company, and then quickly corrected herself to country. She's bloody unbelievable, that Corinne Jean-Pierre. Seriously, I can't listen to her. Can't watch her. I'm still getting very triggered by people that I know are blatantly lying through their teeth and know that they're lying through their teeth. And like with her, you can see that she's dying inside. Every time she talks, every time she speaks, she knows the questions that she's going to get. And she just, the look on her face is like, oh God. Can you just stop asking me these questions? I have to just give you word salad fucking bullshit answers to. Lots of hand gesticulation to emphasize my point. You've been carving pumpkins, Andrea. Can you pop some pictures in the treehouse? And then I could share them. That would be cool. Of course, it's Halloween, isn't it? On Tuesday, which is like 4 days away, three and a half days away, isn't it? I can't believe it's the end of October, beginning of November, and we're going into 2023 soon. Time's getting faster. Like, it seems to have sped up a little bit more, for me at least. Well, I'll tell you what. You could all come and have a look at what I've been looking at today. Look at my YouTube history. Oh, that was to make my Biden video, short video. I love this guy. Absolutely love this guy. He's brilliant. He's so funny. He's quite arrogant. He thinks he's more intelligent than he is, but he's philosophical and he is intelligent. He's extremely intelligent. He's got a lot of knowledge about a lot of things. He's very practical, skilled craftsman. I'm sure he's skilled in electronics and engineering, but he really does consider himself to be better than everybody else because he's considers himself to be more intelligent than anybody else. Like, everybody else is stupid and he's intelligent. But you know, you got. I get it. He is. Do you know you can't see it? Fuck's sake, you can't see. No, you can't see. Train of thoughts got derailed. Yeah, he knows a lot. He's fluent in two ancient languages. I think like Sanskrit and something else. He speaks Latin and a bit of Spanish and very, very, very knowledgeable. He taught marksmanship, and you know he's He's just very smart lad. So he's given this off-grid tool, survival tools. Right, the ones that he thinks are the best. And this headlamp looks wicked.
Have, and that is a motion detector. So you can see
99%.
99% of people are living in a delusion. Yes, they are. I'll agree with that.
see you have the LEDs here. There's bright, low, and a little side light. And we put this here, and if I actually hit the button in front here, and there we go. You wave your hand like, okay, I want to use, I don't need the lamp now. I wave my hand, turn it off, on, off. So absolutely.
That's pretty cool. He's saying it's like $23 for two. They work out like $12 each, $11 each. Yeah, he's fluent Russian. You know him, do you, Scott the Sniper? You're right there, Sasquatch. Mate, if you want to scroll up, the link is there. If you want to pop in. If anybody wants to pop in, scroll up and the link is there. This is to have a natter. I can't natter by myself, really. It's boring. That's his name, Ken. He's brilliant, man. I mean, he's so
wonderful. I love these little suckers. My buddy, he's used his up. He has a cabin out in the woods too, and he bought like a dozen of these and gave them away, including this one to me. This is the best I've seen. Two of them for $23, what, $12 a piece. He said the battery life on his is incredible, and he's extremely critical of everything, just like I myself am very critical. So wonderful. Incredible survival tool. I use these almost every day for everything. Working in close, little small things. In my cabin, you know, I mean, you don't want to turn on a bunch of bright lights. And
I'll tell you, the thing is, with this guy, I absolutely, if he recommends something, I'm going to absolutely believe that that he's right. You know, I'm going to say, yeah. If he says it's good, he wouldn't endorse something that he hasn't tried and tested. He absolutely wouldn't endorse anything that he hasn't tried and tested. So I know that whatever it is, he's tried and tested it, and he knows his shit, man. And he's got some real, oh, mate, right? I love knives. I've got this thing, and I'm sure it's from a previous life, or many previous lives, in fact. And I love knives.
Burr does have some knives that are made in China and other places. The LMF and the...
Crying out loud.
Show you are made in Oregon. These are USA made knives. Don't buy them on Amazon or eBay. Don't, because most of them are fake. You can tell that they're fake. The knives are pretty good looking, the fakes are, but the
that's a Gerber
actual, webbing and this is, it's just
worth
totally
100
off.
and something.
I can tell they're fakes. I got a couple fakes
dollars.
Once, and rather than try to send them back, I just gave them away to people. This is called the Gerber LMF. It comes in black and OD green. It's actually got a crusher down here, or you could say breaks glass. There's thousands of videos on YouTube of torture tests of the Gerber LMF. It's the same knife except the cordage. I just have the cordage on here, so you can see.
He's got.
That. There's also a built-in the Gerber strong
That's the
arm.
slightly smaller Gerber. That's nice.
Incredible
and then
difference in quality, and I've owned both. This is the Magnum Tanto. I know you can't see the actual line there, but it is Sanmai 3. I think it is VG10 steel. I'm trying to remember it as VG10 steel. Anyway, there's that. I actually made this leather sheath for it. Very simple sheath.
That's what I mean, right? He's a leatherman. He makes all kinds of stuff out of leather and hide, and he's a beautiful
And
craftsman.
one of my favorite knives, I've had a taipan now, both Japanese and Taiwanese, and I've
This
seen
is bloody
absolutely
lovely.
no sheath that I made for the sucker. Very, very simple and crude one, but hey, sharp as hell. Absolutely incredible. There's tons of torture tests been done on the.
I mean, that just sounds wrong, doesn't it? Torture tests been done with this knife, but man, it's no, it's not from China. That's what he's saying. It's not from China. China is shit, Brian. He's saying this is he doesn't like this. Well, it's steel, American made. So not it's not Japanese steel, but they're not. It's not Chinese made. Voynich, all right, mate. How you doing, Lizzo? How you doing? I'll just put the I'll put the link in again. Anyone that wants to jump in. That was obviously making the video, and I was watching the speech earlier. He says all the right things, man. He definitely says all the right things. I was watching this Hollow, A Plague Tale Requiem. This, I'll tell you what, Jason
Panadol
would like
Extra
this.
Fights 10 types
Jason
of tough pain.
Brashears. So
Going back. Now be sad, Hugo. These things you dreamt of, they existed. You just couldn't know.
where is it? Find the bit. Hang on a sec.
Bro, that's the same thing Hugo has. Look at his chest.
It's the carrier of the macula. That fresco was in Mother's laboratory at home.
Neil.
Here we go.
Evil found the child inside these very halls. It fed on his fire, weakened it.
This is all about the Phoenix.
Scars. His mother's arms couldn't warm him anymore.
And so his light faded. Almost
That's
entirely.
why Jason like this. It's all about the Phoenix. This kid's dreaming about the Phoenix. The Phoenix guides him to a healing pool where he'll get healed of his affliction. He carries this thing called the macula.
Of his light. Our hope. And now, two of you, a woman and a child, will carry it through his night.
This was a terrible idea.
You.
And then they go through.
That's right, he's scared of water.
No.
Oh, where is it?
Yeah, duh. We gotta get the hell out of here. Sophie, can I call you Sophie? Yeah, I'll call you Sophie. Yeah, it's just, oh.
And this is so annoying
Oh,
that this
shit.
is.
Of life reignite his flame.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, it's all about the blood. Fucking fiber optic, man. 120 megabytes a second. It's capable of downloading that. It should be able to do this in 4K with absolutely no problems at all, and it's still skipping on fucking 1080p HD. It's a joke. It's a bloody joke. Bane Bear, how you doing? So I put the link out, like, I don't know what, about 4 times now, and still nobody's joined, and M's not shown up. So I'm gonna shut this down if nobody joins in the next 5 minutes, because I wanted to have a natter. That involves at least one other person to natter with.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
You know what makes me sad? You do! Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land, where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you, you jackwagon!
Bane Bear!
Hey, y'all.
Greetings, man. How
What are y'all
you doing? Well, just wanting to sit here and have a natter with someone, man. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, man. When you said, when I got on the thing and I saw Squirrel Sniper and Andrea was there, and then you said Bane Bear's here, and I was like, oh, cool. And then you're like, I put the link up and nobody jumped on. I'm like, oh shit, we can jump on. All right, cool. Because I had to go back through the chat. Yeah. Find the link. You doing all right, bro?
Yeah, you know, just getting on with it, innit? You can't do anything else. What else can you do? You just got to keep going, man. Because the world ain't stopping. This shit ain't stopping.
Oh yeah,
we can sit here and dig our heels in. But yeah, exactly. You got to adapt with it. That's it.
Well, it's funny. I'm heading back. Yeah,
go on.
You won't survive. Yeah. I'm about to head back to a job site to do some work on a rental.
Yeah.
And I wrote part of my comedy set. If you want to hear some jokes, I got some jokes I've been working on.
Oh yes, mate, definitely. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna start with one that I know is already working. So I'm gonna get you going. I'm gonna warm you up with some good laughs here right off the go. Okay. I'm about to be at the job and my camera's bouncing a lot. So I'm literally 100 driveway. I'll pull in this driveway. Everything will be stable.
Don't worry about it, dude. Seriously.
No, I know, but then it's like I feel like that way I'm not driving and reading.
Yeah, that's a better reason. That's a better reason, man.
Yeah. It's not just the camera; it's also the road and all that. All right, so we're here. Hold on, let me.
Just before you start, whereabouts are you? What part of the US are you in? North, south,
I'm in
east, west?
Greenville, South Carolina. I'm on the East Coast.
Nice.
Closer to London.
South Carolina. Carolina somewhere, north or south. I'd love to go to Carolina. can't help it. I don't feel the same way since he's gone to CNN for certain. I don't. I'm like, rah, you freaking sellout shit. But Trey Gowdy, when he was in office, I loved him. I thought he was solid. And then he went and just, you saw it happen.
Yeah, we used to call him the Bulldog.
Man. Yeah. But when he changed and it suddenly his suits went up a grand, you know, the suits that he was wearing just suddenly he was looking sharp, really sharp. And it's like, yeah, we know he's going to move on to mainstream media.
Yeah, he's been bought. It's one of those things where money and status are a great influencer, but I like laughter more than anything. So if I want to keep the laughs pure, I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to be like, oh, don't worry, I'm not going to say certain words, or I've got sponsors, or I've got money. There's no money involved. The only risk that's involved is me. Like, just like I'm the wild card, like going in. When we do open mics, you never know what you're going to get. Like, I've had before where people are like, you're amazing. And then other times they'll be like, that was not cool. You might not want to come back next week. And I'll be like, oh, I'm coming back next week.
Dude, it was the same with the music. I used to do music open nights rather than comedy. I'd go and do the open mic for the music, and you'd have some weeks it was rocking, man, and other weeks it just it wasn't. And you know, it's down to the people. It's like massively down to the people, just how receptive the people are, the mood that, you know, if you like, that's what I enjoy about comedy. A good comedian can get anybody out of their funk.
Yeah,
and that's one of the best tools that a comedian has.
Music is just like comedy. It is very subjective. Every venue's different. Every crowd's different. Every mic setup's gonna be different. Sometimes the sound's not gonna be right, and you're nailing every note, but they didn't set up their soundboard right, and so it just sounds echoey and terrible. And then the crowd's like, oh, this sounds terrible. But then they want to blame you as the comic or as the band, but you're like, yeah, the sound guys kind of screwed us because they don't know what they're doing. You know, but that's part of the whole genre. It's a learning and growing process we all have to go through together, you know.
Come on, man. I'm gonna put you on blast. Give us your material. I'm gonna solo. Oh, not. I've just muted you. Not what idiot. I just muted you. Sorry, mate. I meant to put you on solo. Here you go. Let's hear your shit.
So I have this friend in Colorado who's a veteran, right? And he lost his arm right here to an IED. And he said to me, he goes, you know, it'd be great as if a comedian had the balls to do like amputee, IED, you know, veteran jokes. And I was like, I think that'd be in poor taste. He's like, why? I said, well, I still have all my limbs and I'm not a veteran, but there's a lot of open mics out there where you're at in Colorado. Why don't you sign up for an open mic and write these jokes and do them there? And he says, I'm starting to see why your father and your uncle and your brother were Marines and you weren't, because you don't have the balls for this kind of stuff. And I said, it's like that. And he's like, yeah. I said, now, if I make these jokes, I don't want you to get mad and throw hands because you've only got one and you might miss. But I mean, trust me, I have to hand it to you. I want to help you keep a leg up, help you keep your prosthetic finger on the pulse of the amputee community. I mean, I'm just trying to keep you abreast of what's afoot. In a handy way, but I don't know if I can do those jokes because it's on the wrist. And then I was driving home the other night, and I'm getting super paranoid. And in my rear view, there's this guy has a light in his mirror, and it's got a backwards R, and it says Red U, and I'm like, who is this Red U guy following me? What is that? A new company? I'm thinking, is Redbox going out of service to where they're like delivering movies now? What's going on? I used to be dyslexic, and they trained that stuff so far out of me that I forgot that it was in a mirror. It was an Uber. It was an Uber follow me. And I'm 12 seconds. I'm like Sherlock Holmes. I'm like, Red U. What is Red U? Is Red U like delivering food and DVDs? It's like dyslexics of the world. Untie.
Have I slipped into a parallel reality and this is actually the police behind me?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know what it was. I was like, is there some kind of new alphabet agency? I wasn't sure. But yeah. So do you know what song my penis would have sang on my birthday if it could have, you know, to the doctor? You know, Or you know what song my foreskin would have sung to my dick on my birthday? It would have been you didn't have to cut me off. All I wanted was some titty milk and a nap, yeah. But now I've got an open wound. Don't plan on sleeping because I will cry a lot because you cut me. You're laughing. Oh yeah, and when I pull the mic the next time, I'm gonna go for like this, like, you know, the mic's right here. I'm gonna go for the mic and be like, "Ow, God," you know, like, and pretend to hit myself in the face with the mic as an intro. And then I had some other ones like
one, man. That's an old one, but it's always a good one because slapstick. You can never fail with a bit of slapstick, man. No.
Yeah. So get ready for this one because this one might be a clincher. So I'm getting raped behind this hotel, right? Sorry, I messed that up. Right, I messed that up. So I'm raping this lady behind the hotel, right? Oh, is it not as funny? Are you all sexist? What happened to equality? I believe in it. Let's make half the sewer workers women, or we can make half the workers at Sephora and Ulta men. You know, like tough men, like burly men. I'd be like, think that foundation's got you written all over it, girl. It really dances with your eyes and that purse you're carrying. You know, I just once love to see a bearded trucker at Starbucks being like, "What do you want?" You know, that would be like true equality right there. I don't know. So yeah, I've been working on a lot of different puns. I do have an Asian friend. His name is Lou, and his whole life his mom cooked rice for him, and he hates rice because he had it in every single meal. He's a racist, and yeah, every now and then he'll around be like, "Rice power," you know, because he's like what he hates is now defining him. You know, it's kind of like the Ku Klux Klan or the skinheads. It's like, don't be defined by what you hate, but you know. I know he's a rice supremacist.
Racist, man.
Yeah. Here's what makes it funnier.
He's a white rice supremacist. He's a white
rice supremacist, not brown rice supremacist, because that belongs to the Mexicans. But he's looking for an Asian lady here in the upstate of South Carolina, and there are plenty of beautiful Asian ladies, Indian, Asian, Japanese, whatever. Plenty of them. But here's the clincher. He's looking for a woman that hates rice as much as he does. And then they'll start a reality show called The White Rice Supremacists. And so the other day we're having lunch, right? And we see this other Asian couple, and he nudges me, and he's like, "Bro, check it out. Interracial couple." And I was like, "How do you figure they're both Asian?" He goes, "Yeah, but he's Chinese and she's Korean, and that's unheard of." And I said, "You know, they do have one thing in common." He goes, "Love?" I said, "No, they both like rice." So those are a few I'm working on. But
I've already got these ideas. I've got these ideas for white rice supremacist memes already. I'm definitely gonna do something with that.
We're bringing in garbanzo beans. They're good for the movement of the rice supremacy. We're gonna replace it all with chips.
This is gonna make a nice little short. Actually, what is it? 44 minutes, right? I think I'm gonna grab a nice little short out of this about white rice supremacy, man. Brilliant.
Because he's a racist. He's a racist for sure.
No, because he's a racist, man.
Yeah,
this is the thing. If you do it with the right accent as well, and say as a racist, it can be even more effective, you know.
Very true. Very true. I was also gonna, like, you know, in the clubs nowadays, like, you can't smoke. Like back in the day with comedy or with bands, you could smoke.
Oh, dude!
Like you can't smoke cigarettes.
In 1997, right? In the UK, you could smoke in bars. You could smoke in. I think you could still smoke in pubs and bars. I went out to the US to go and scope it out because I was thinking I wanted to move there. And I went to San Diego, and you couldn't smoke anywhere. It like all the anti-smoking stuff had really taken hold in California, and you couldn't smoke anywhere. And I was like, "Man, this sucks." And then a couple of years later, they
down and they took the
UK
whole country out. Well, I mean,
and then they took the UK with it.
Well, then think about mate. think about the logic of that. You'd be like, I've been hitting tequila slammer since noon. I'm trying to shag this chick. I don't even know her name. Can you put that out? It's like, I think a cigarette is the least dangerous of the three options of sleeping with strangers and ingesting alcohol. And I just want to have a cigarette indoors. So, I mean, it would, imagine how much comedy, not so much music, but comedy. Think about how much that changed when you couldn't smoke indoors. There was a certain arrogance, like Dennis Leary was known for smoking.
Yeah.
Ron White.
Yeah.
I wish I could smoke, but they've all got sprinkler systems now that are super sensitive, so you don't even dare break the rule. But
Can't even smoke in the green room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They don't even let you smoke in the green room. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. But it's one of those things where it's like I'm having a conversation with all three of my gay friends the other day. Okay, well, one of them's a lesbian, so 2 gay friends and a lick-a-lot-of-puss. But so we're having this talk, right? And one of my gay friends, he goes, I think you're homophobic. And I was like, really? Because I'm not scared of any of you fags. Hey, speaking of fags, you guys want to have a cigarette? Because they're called fags in UK, not here.
In the UK, man. Yeah. Dude, I was. That's one of the things. I was in in this club in San Diego, and I was like, I'm going outside for a fag, and they laughed about it. The guys that I was with laughed. Because I went out there by myself. So I was just there with Americans, and they laughed about it. They're like, man, he's going outside to burn a fag. You know what we call fags over here? You know what a fag is over here, man? Yes, I do. But
going outside to burn a fag, that's funny. Yeah, that's hilarious. I might have to. You gotta be real careful how you use it.
Yeah. But the thing about comedy, I guess it depends on how dark your sense of humor is. But the reality of it is that a lot of us are capable of an incredibly dark sense of humor. And I after my car accident back in 2000, I was making jokes about myself. When I came out, within a month, I was making jokes about myself and, being a cripple and whatever, and making people laugh, and they were laughing more because I was not laughing. It comes across way more dry, and I was like, I'm telling these jokes and I'm saying it to make people laugh, but I'm not laughing. Whereas normally I can't tell a joke because I start laughing before I finished it.
Yeah. But it's funny. That's the funny thing about jokes. Like in comedy, if you did well, they'd be like, "Oh, he's killing it up there." It's like, but laughter is the best medicine. Well, which is it? Are we killing it or is it medicine? But there is transcendentally healing about laughter. Like you said, with your car accident, it helps you process the trauma of it. I had a close childhood friend that died this summer. Just freak accident, slipped and fell by his tub, had a head injury, and never recovered from it, and he died. And then I made the mistake of drinking whiskey and then deciding to express myself on stage and dedicate it to my dead friend. And then right at the beginning came out with a dark joke. I said, listen, I've been having whiskey. My friend died July 3rd, right before July 4th. So I'm dedicating this set to him. So if my jokes aren't funny and you don't laugh, it won't matter because he's not here. He's not going to hear it. And of course, when you're serious faced, everyone's like, "Oh, damn, that's dark." And you're like, "Yeah, they're dark jokes. I told you, I had whiskey. They're gonna be dark." But then you've got to lighten it up. Every crowd is different.
I think it's the ability to detach from the situation, right? The ability to just detach yourself from it and look at it from a different angle. Not be emotionally attached to what's going on. Well,
I made a huge mistake that night. That night, I decided to end my set by singing a tribute song to my friend while I was drunk, half drunk, and it did not end well. Like at the end, when I opened my eyes, everybody was completely silent, and I'm like, that didn't come across as well as I thought it did at all. And then when I left the stage the next week, the host kind of mocked me openly. He's like, "Listen, if there are any of you comics that have had a recent trauma and you have had time to process that, Please don't bring it on stage. You think it's going to translate well. And everybody else feels uncomfortable for me. I'm laughing the hardest in the back. I'm like, he's right. That was me. That was me. I screwed up last week. Now I know the best way on stage is sober. If you want to smoke some weed beforehand or something, that's a little bit of something. But as far as alcohol goes, either have one drink or none. But don't go up there. If you had more than one drink, you're going to screw it up. It's not going to translate well. You're not going to hit the mark on your punchlines. You'll forget your shit. Like one drink. If you have a cocktail, like a dinner cocktail, and then you're like, oh, let's go do the open mic in about an hour. That's fine. You smoke some weed, that's fine. But
it loosens you up. But
5 minutes before I went on stage, I was drinking whiskey. And I was like, yeah, this is not going to be good, but I'm going to try to make it funny. I don't know. It's one of those things where
I think that even like there's a British comic. I can't remember what his name is. Probably Squirrel Sniper will be able to tell me.
Is it Jimmy Carr?
There was a British. No, much older. He always had a scotch and he was smoking. And there's another one who was from the West Country. And his name was Jethro. And he always seemed like he was a little bit drunk, you know. These comics that come on and they play drunk, but they're not. They're just putting it on a little bit, because it's the same as singing, mate. It's one of the reasons why I quit drinking, because it was I realized when I didn't drink for a couple of weeks, and then I realized, wow, my voice was way better. So I was like, well, that's enough of I had all these other reasons, and that was enough to tip it over for me to say, I'm not going to drink again.
When your hearing is more sober, you can hear yourself singing sober, then you hear the notes naturally as they are.
No,
I've seen friends that got drunk and thought they were singing great, and they were just horrible.
It distorts your perception of what you sound like. You think that you're singing absolutely spot on and you're sharp or you're flat or whatever, but it's not even that. It's like, because I reached a stage in 2013 where I wasn't even drinking. Like, I stopped getting drunk as soon as I started to. I'd drink Guinness, and I'd have 3 pints of Guinness, and then the fourth one I'd start to feel it a little bit. I'd start to feel the alcohol kicking in a little bit, and then I'd stop drinking after the fourth pint, and I'd be drinking Coca-Cola or water or orange juice and lemonade or something, right?
Well, can I ask you something? It used to be in UK they didn't regulate their alcohol. Like someone had told me that the whole, like, you might accidentally get drunk off of 1 pint, or you might be drinking 20 pints and not feel it at all. Is there truth to that?
No. It may have used to have been true, but like now in the 90s, for licensing and stuff, they actually have to put up on the thing how much. I mean, I don't know if they go around and they test everything all the time. I don't know how often the tests are, you know, what the rules are for making alcohol and stuff. But yeah. Certainly in the when you buy from breweries, everything that you're getting from the brewery, if they say it's 4%, if anything, it will be a little bit less. It won't be more. So, but like in English pubs, you can't really get in the backwater pubs. You can get special ales and stuff that are 12, 13%. But other than that, not many places do anything more than like 5%. So it's funny, isn't it? It's like 5% that you can get absolutely smashed on 5%. Yet people sit there drinking 40%. You know, shots of whiskey and soda and whiskey Mac. I used to love whiskey Mac.
Well, now it's one of those things where it's like, I'll have an adult beverage on Friday night once the work week's over, like with dinner or something, maybe one Saturday night. But I try to keep it to like 2 drinks, maybe 3 a week. And then at most, like if I'm partying hard, I'll have 2 drinks. You know, but after 2, like with whiskey and soda and stuff, you're like, yeah, this is going to get dangerous and stupid, and I got to perform and then drive. You know, it might not be the best idea. So I think comedy is a great teacher, just like music. Music, there's a lot more to it because you've got words and sound. You have electrical devices and a microphone, whereas comedy, it's just jokes you wrote, not knowing whether or not the crowd will accept them, and then you walk up to the mic. You just have to have the balls to walk up to the mic. But so music involves way much more preparation, way much more practice, way much more dedication, I guess, is the key. I'm dedicated to comedy. I like comedy, but I don't have the dedication of a musician.
I see. I'd say that comedy requires you to think on your feet, like a lot more than performing does. All performing music requires is that you know the fucking song, and like if you're nervous, you just have to block out everything and you focus on the song and you get lost in the song. That's why I spent years and years I couldn't play like to people unless I had my eyes closed. I'd sit and like on so many songs.
Listen, I've done that with song jokes. You have to close your eyes so you can focus, or else you're not going to nail the tune. You're not going to nail the joke. You're not going to nail the words. But listen, I have found the audience they do appreciate that. Like I've had audience members afterwards come up on stage. They're like, I noticed you closed your eyes when you sang. Did you do that so you wouldn't screw it up because you wanted the joke to land right? And I'm like, yeah, if I'm looking at you people while I'm trying to sing, I'll fuck it up. You know, jokes, I can look at anybody because I'm used to talking.
Especially if I catch your eye, like when you catch somebody's eye in the actually eye to eye, make eye to eye contact in the audience. It can be a cute girl or anything, and it just knocks you off kilter. And you're like,
because then the cute girl's got a being girlfriend next to her too. So,
yeah. Neil Shannon, you're absolutely right, mate. Dave Allen, thank you very much. Dave Allen, his name was.
Gotcha.
Very funny guy. One of my dad's favorite comedians.
Do you ever, like, as far as dark humor goes, do you sometimes realize that touching the untouchable subjects is sometimes gold? Like absolute gold. Like, because sometimes people won't touch certain subjects because of sensitivity and this and that. Obviously, we're on YouTube, so I can't obviously do certain things. Like, okay, obviously, there are certain words we're not allowed to use at the venues. It's not that I don't have jokes with certain words or that I wouldn't use those words. It's that if you use those words on stage, they'll shut down the open mic for everybody and nobody will perform there ever again because all the owners of all the venues are all woke, you know? So you make an offensive thing, you've screwed it up for all the comics. And then you've got 20 to 50 comics that hate you. Some that come on the regular, some that only come once a month, but that one of them comes up and finds out that, you know, it's been canceled. Ooh, I mean, it's horrible. Like, okay,
yeah,
I got in trouble.
Why has it been cancelled? Because so and so's told a joke about that. Like, yeah, that's it. Your reputation amongst your peers and colleagues, like, or
Owen Benjamin,
peers, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, Owen Benjamin had a good saying about it. If you're offended, it's because you're weak, and that's the truth. I have had 14 folks ahead of me give pro-choice jokes, and then I gave a pro-life joke, and all of them were just like, "Oh, I am so offended. I can't even hear jokes." It was right when the Roe v. Wade thing happened here, and it's like some things like I got in more trouble for World War II jokes than I did for pro-life jokes, and that's a fact. And then 9/11 jokes, I had 9/11 jokes right at like 2 days after 9/11 this year. Like, I got on stage and said a couple jokes, got people going, and then I said, you know, I was thinking about starting with 9/11 jokes, but I didn't for fear of crashing and burning. And, you know, I'm just going to tell plain jokes, just plain jokes, not jokes about planes, you know, because, and somebody went, oh, and I go, oh, what? Too soon? It's been 21 years. If it was a human, it could drink and forget. You know, because the whole never forget thing.
Yeah. Do you like South Park?
I used to love it. I used to love South Park back in the day. I feel they sold out during the clot needle thing that I can't say out loud with words.
It was like they were going against the narrative without going against the narrative. they were still
They were paid
upholding
billion-
one
you know they were paid a
narrative.
billion dollars for that?
Yeah.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker were paid $1 billion to do those 5 episodes for the whole pushing the vaccine thing by Pfizer and a whole bunch of others. Donald Trump was only paid $1 million by Pfizer to do Operation Warp Speed. So it's like, apparently they hold the influence of South Park higher than what the influence of Donald Trump has, which tells you something about South Park, because they've been around 25 years now. You know, that's a show that's been running for a quarter of a century.
Yeah, well, man, I remember when they started. What was it? Yeah, 97,
98,
like 99, no, 97. Yeah, I had the first 3 seasons on VHS disc, on VHS tape when it came out. But
VHS is a cruel trick. It's a cruel trick because old guys like me and you will still have VHS. And in 2030, someone will be like, oh, that thing is only on VHS. Be like, well, sucks to be you because we have it and you don't.
I don't have a VHS player anymore, man. Jeez.
I found one in an attic.
I used to have, yeah. Have you heard, like, they're saying that, you know, cassette tapes for music and, you know, the little cassette tapes, that they're actually, the recording quality of those is better than a CD disc, than a digital disc. It's just all about how they read the information. And because now there's technology available that can read the information so much faster, these cassette tapes actually are capable. No, it's much really good quality, and it's, you know, it's something from the old that's actually better than what we've got now.
Well, it's that they have a soft material that reads the magnetic strip, whereas with a DVD or CD, you have a laser that's almost like kind of burning into the disc with heat after a while. And it's just like records. Remember records? We love LPs and records because of that scratchy quality sound in the background. That almost like the machine is running. I think cassette tapes are now the new LPs. Like when you remember, like, not everybody was like, oh, LPs before CDs, LPs were great. Records and this and that. Now it's like we're looking at cassette tapes. It's like same thing.
There's still a I don't know how big it is, but there's still a vinyl, you know, basically it's purist vinyl fans, you know, particularly for dance music and stuff. For me, I'm a massive I think the skill behind spinning vinyl decks for a DJ is so much. But you know, they've got so much more talent and skill than those that are using the digital stuff now, because digital stuff, you get programs that do it all for you. They're not really, you know, they're not really beat matching and stuff. It's all done for them in the system.
But on that same note, you have to appreciate the fact that if so many people had not appreciated the records, they wouldn't have kept making records and record players. Like my daughter's 17. Last year for her birthday, I bought her a record player and a bunch of records she wanted. I let her go around. She's going around Hot Topic picking out records. And we go to a music store and she's picking out records. Let her buy like 10 or 12 records. And then she has a record player in her room and she loves it, that quality sound. Because I explained that to her as a child about the, like, John Denver records. And back in the day, the sound of the scratchiness is something authentic about the nostalgia of that quality that I feel that we've lost.
You know,
it's like place now, like, sorry,
it's weird, isn't it, how you're right, it's like there's something more tangible about that sound that's, you know, you can connect. I don't know, it's weird. Maybe it is just purely because of our age, you know.
No, well, can I throw out a theory? Can I throw out a theory on that? I think the theory on that ties into everything. Like kids nowadays, my 14-year-old son included, no attention span, like 30 seconds to a minute, like maybe no attention span. You or I, back in the day, would get out of school, drop our shit off at home, change clothes, get on your bicycle, riding like a mile, 2 miles to meet with your friends at the record store just to go into the booths and sample records because you didn't have the money to buy them. And if you did, you had like a money to buy like a couple of like used ones, used CDs, used cassette tape, or used records, and then you're trying to ride a bike without your backpack, trying to carry that shit. And kids nowadays, they'll be like, "Hey, did you hear that new song by so-and-so?" And then they're like, "Hold on. Yeah, I got it." You didn't earn anything.
Remember that back in the day of singles, though, when they started bringing out singles, and it was like, "Oh, wow, it's just got like 2-3 songs on it," and it, you know, you get it for like $2 or $3, or pounds in England, obviously.
Oh,
yeah, I remember the music stores, man. Like they used to have queues going out the doors for some stuff when it was, you know, when singles came out and that back in the 90s. And
a lot changed from 1990 to 2001. That's why they had to have the reset of 9/11. Like, so much changed. I feel that they knew that with the onslaught of the internet, they were going to lose like a lot of influence and control. And that's what I think was behind things like 9/11 and going into a 20-year war with the Middle East and shit. And it's like, I have friends that are still to this day that are like anti-Muslim. And I'm like, have you ever met a Muslim? Because they're not like what the media tells us. Like, not all of them are like that. Most of them are very peaceful. I have Muslim friends that are more Christian than my Christian friends. Like, literally like stick-to-itive, good people that want to have families. And that's it.
And you put a good Christian, a good Muslim, and a good Jewish man together, no different. They're no different. They all have the same values. They all, you know, it's all about treating people nicely, don't cause any harm, don't cause any loss. But the basic principles, man, just people having good principles. And yeah, I mean,
a lot of it.
My grandfather was a practicing Muslim when he died. He wasn't practicing through his whole life, but when he realized he was dying, he got diagnosed with emphysema, and he became a practicing Muslim again. Had a Muslim funeral, so I went to that and had a really lengthy conversation with the imam about Islam and why I wasn't Muslim. Like this imam was so offended and couldn't believe that I, the son of a Muslim man from, you know, Algerian Muslim man who spoke 11 languages, I wasn't a Muslim. And he was like, you should read the Quran.
Listen, the reason he was upset was because he had just done the service for your father. And it seems like a dishonor thing to a Muslim father if your son has strayed away, that like you weren't a disciplined father or something.
Yeah,
he's mad because
it was my grandfather. My grandfather, not my dad, my granddad. My mum's dad. Yeah, my mum's dad. He fought for the Germans. He was a pilot for the German Air Force. Got strafed by a machine gun, shot out of the air, taken in as a English prisoner of war. When they released him, he stayed in the UK. Had an affair with my nan, who'd already had. She'd already had 2 kids by two different men. One was Indian, and the first one was English. And she didn't marry him, but she had a kid with him. Then she married. She had an affair with an Indian, married him, and had another kid with him. And then she had an affair with my granddad and had 3 kids with him, and he was a Muslim from Algeria who'd fought for the Germans. And this is back in the 1950s, mate. This is in the 1950s. My nan, she was rocking it as one of the original Jerry Springer guests. Like, she would have been
one of the original.
She could have got, man, if Jerry Springer had have existed in the 1950s, my nan would have been there.
Should have been the first show. It'd have been the first show. Was your name? But it's funny. That's so another thing that's funny, the way it ties in. Look at you're in the UK. I'm in the US. You know, you can appreciate comedy. I can appreciate music, but we're also not pushing it down each other's throats. I feel religion is the same way. Can you imagine me going on the streets of Greenville, South Carolina here, being like, you have to come to comedy, you have to come to the show, or you're not funny, or you don't appreciate laughter, you need to come see us do the open mic? People would call you crazy. They'd be like, what is wrong with you? Just be a good dude and just occasionally let people know about the show. You know, that's why I feel
mean,
like
you
religion's
could.
gotten it. So much ego gets involved.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you could stand on the corner and act the fool, and you know, and just joke with people as they're walking past and promote the comedy like that. But doing it like, yeah, you basically like you say, like they do in fucking Speaker's Corner, right? In the UK, you know, Speaker's Corner, famous, in Hyde Park, wherever it is, and for a couple of years, all my friends were they were there talking about the global eye, and you know, talking about stuff that was not socially acceptable to talk about, and for a few years, that was the conversation that was going on at Hyde Park. But before then, it was all about religion. And since then, since COVID, since the lockdowns, all of the you know, flat earthers and everything all disappeared, and now all the religions back, and it's just Christian versus Muslim, and they just stand there telling everybody that they're going to hell, and you know, my God's better than your God. Your God isn't real. Your God is actually Satan, and it's my God that's real. No, it's my God that's real, and your God is Satan. It's like, can you? When you just kind of.
But here's the thing: what if the God of creation, like the Jewish God from the Torah, the God of creation, the Muslims version of the God, and the Christian version of the God, what if they're all the same God? They're just different books written by different people in different places.
Right,
you know,
which is all. This is what I realized when I listened to him the other day. I listened to something David Icke was saying. And basically, he was saying what I've been saying for the last 7 years, which is that perception is the key to reality. He didn't actually say that, but he said that, you know, your perception is how you will experience the world. You'll experience it as you perceive it. So
perception's a funny thing.
Fucking thought. Go on, you carry on, because I've lost my train of thought.
I got something for you on perception. You know the story of 3 blind mice, right? They're all feeling an elephant. One feels.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you in that story is there's a 4th mouse. There's no way that a mouse could feel the ear of the elephant, the tail of the elephant, and the foot of the elephant unless the elephant was laying down and asleep. So you have one blind mouse saying, "Oh, it's feeling the tail. Oh, it's like a snake." And then one mouse is feeling the ear laying on the ground, going, "Oh, it's flat like a leaf." And then one's feeling the foot, going, "No, it's big and boldy like a rock." What they don't tell you is there's a 4th mouse yards away, going, "Hey, he's waking up. He's gonna squish you. Get out of there." Like, all 3 of you were wrong. There's a 4th mouse over here telling you you're waking up a sleeping elephant. You're about to get trampled. You know, and that's I feel like, okay, down here in Greenville, listen, I'm a Christian by faith. I do believe Jesus was real. I believe God's real, all that stuff. But when you get a permit downtown to get a loudspeaker, and you know, you're a musician, you know this. Loudspeakers sound terrible. Bullhorns are not made for sound. Bullhorns are meant for getting cattle out of the way or getting people out of the way. If there's a flood, there's a flood coming, get out of the way. When you're using a bullhorn, you're, "My God's better than your God." I sometimes want to walk up to him and be like, "Excuse me, would Jesus do this? Like, would Jesus get a permit and then come down here?" Like, people, it doesn't matter if there are people that are also fellow believers or people that are not believers or people that are Muslims or agnostic or atheists or Jews. You're just pissing off everybody equally. It's a bullhorn. Nobody in the world has ever said, "You know what? I was thinking about getting a piece of audio equipment this week." "Oh, you mean like an amplifier, a microphone, cords, new mic stands, a guitar?" "Nah, I'm thinking about getting a bullhorn." Nobody says that. Bullhorns sound terrible. You remember field day in school? Line up on the soccer field. They're terrible. Why would you use one to cross thing?
The only place for a bullhorn in that sort of situation is leading a chant in a rally or a protest. That's the only place for a fucking bullhorn, you know.
Yeah,
but they had a good position. The bullhorns were good on the protests and stuff. All the protests that have gone on over the last couple of years, they're good for that. But no, not standing there trying to preach a message of peace to everyone. You know,
well, just
peace
well, just
and
to put it, but
unconditional
like I
love.
said, it's about perception. It's about perception. If there was a French guy there with the French hat, and he's like, I love croissants. Croissants are amazing. I put butter on croissants. They're delicious. And you're doing it through a bullhorn. I would go out of my way to avoid buying a croissant from you ever. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel it does. Am I doing some great missionary work deep in the Congo? No. But I'm not on the street corner pissing people off either. You know,
those that shout the loudest, man. It's always in every kind of instance. It's those that shout the loudest. They're not the ones that you want to be listening to.
Usually,
they're the one. Yeah, usually, mate. It's
I only listen to the loud ones when they're like, the fire out of the building.
Yeah. It's like those that, what was it? Those that point the finger, I've got the dirtiest hands, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, or you point one finger, you got three more pointing back at you.
You got three pointing back at you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I point like this. It's a bad joke. It's a bad joke.
That's where Hitler's salute came from.
Yeah.
That's where
he's like, yeah, I don't want to
salute came from, man.
Myself either.
People
are funny. But
oh, look, here she is. M, who was go on, sorry.
No. Have you? There's an old Celtic blessing, and the old Celtic blessing is, "May those that love us, and may those that don't love us, may God turn their heart. And if He can't turn their heart, may He turn their ankles, so that we may know them by their limping." You never heard that one?
No.
Gotcha. Well, listen, man, I'm back on the job and my lunch is over. I gotta go. But thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Good man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for making us laugh, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
Some brilliant stuff. We'll have to do it again soon, yeah? So that was Bane Bear. Thank you very much, Bane Bear, man. That was brilliant. I love a good chuckle. You know why laughing's good? Because it's that thing that Sarah was talking about, you know, and it's like dancing, making yourself vibrate or whatever, and it doesn't just get your heart going, it gets your juices kind of pumping. And when you laugh, it makes your body and it, you know, so it gets your juices going. So M, where the fuck, it's fucking 7:55, babe. Seriously. I set the stream up for, I think it was 5:30, and then 5:45, and then 6 o'clock, and then 6:30. And where the fuck have you been? I'm actually, I'm going to have to shut the stream down now to take the dogs out for a walk. But, yeah. Thank you very much, Bane Bear. That was awesome. And thank you very much, those people what is here watching and listening now. And I will I'll see you all soon.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
You know what makes me sad? You do! Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land, where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you, you jackwagon!
Imagine that you're playing this computer game.
Yes.
something you would say growing up. You know, like, man, I'm in a tree house. This is awesome. I can see trees all around me. I got a telescope. This is rad.